Grok is some of the biggest news to hit the world of artificial intelligence as Elon Musk develops his own answer to the competitive landscape of large language models and artificial general intelligence. And like anything making waves, the cryptocurrency industry latches on. As a token with the same name, Grok has come to market and gained a lot of attention from speculative investors. This is Sasha with Arcanum Ventures, and today we're going to dive deep into the world of Grok, what this token is, where it came from, and what it means for investors that might be interested in purchasing this asset, as ZackXBT exposed this token as a potential scam. Let's dive in. Grok is the latest and greatest news to hit the world of AI. It's a large language model or AI chatbot developed by Elon Musk, and many are saying that this was kind of the logical step in which he was going to take after acquiring Twitter or X, being able to leverage a lot of user data and user generated content to train this AI bot. There's been a token that has popped up recently in the world of cryptocurrency with the same exact name here, Grok, and you can see on CoinMarketCap. This has been a very, very popular asset to trade in the last several weeks. And there's a lot of volume and a lot of liquidity behind this token. But funny enough, it seems to be untethered to the actual technology that Elon Musk is creating. So first thing we're going to do is dive into the website and give you guys an idea of what this thing is. Disappointing enough, here's the website here. You see there's not a lot of information. In fact, it doesn't even look like that fantastic of a website. You've got the token contract address up here. Zai's first product is Grok, a system with a bite of humor. And again, there's nothing really tying this to the actual AI that Elon Musk and his team might be developing. And so you might ask yourselves, what is the value behind this token? Where did it come from? What does holding the token mean? This is a very classic sort of technique that you see in the cryptocurrency industry where someone might take some news headline, some new technology, some new hype thing that's coming to market and create a cryptocurrency behind it to try and capitalize on that hype and speculation and get a lot of volatility, get a lot of volume, and try and make money off of some news headlines. So this is what we expect to see with this particular token. We're going to dive into the on-chain data and see if we can figure out where it came from, who created it, what their goals behind it are, and what they stood to gain. I've got DEX tools up here that shows the token price for Grok. As you can see, there's a good amount of zeros here, but that's nothing to really pay too much attention to. We want to focus more on the market cap and liquidity. And as you can see here, total market cap is $52 million. And I'll show in a little bit on crypto rank or coin market cap that much of the supply seems to be unlocked. There seems to be a good amount of liquidity across a couple of different LP pairs. So we've got $1.56 million in liquidity in this Uniswap V2 pair. And then we've got 1.1 million in this V3 pair. So there's a lot of interest here. I think there's a lot of people that are trading this token. Going back to CoinMarketCap, again, you can see there's $23 million in volume here. And as a result, based on this demand, there are a number of centralized exchanges that have listed Grok to capitalize on the hype and demand behind it. You can see Gate.io has nearly $2 million worth of volume in the past 24 hours. MEXC close to 7 million. So this is a token that's in high demand. There's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of people trading it. And we want to see a little bit closer into seeing what these people might be getting out of holding or purchasing or investing in this asset. So let's dive into Etherscan and see what we could figure out on chain. So we've got close to 13,000 token holders. There's a lot of total transfers here, only in the past 3 weeks, I think, since this token's been in market. I believe it hit the market November 3rd or November 4th, 170,000 total transfers. And again, we're going to go through our whole spiel. We're going to start and see the level of centralization by looking at the number of token holders and the demographic of token holders. We see right off the bat, the largest holder seems to be MEXC. It's the centralized exchange that is trading this token, holding nearly 10% of the supply. That makes sense considering there's so much volume on there. MEXC jumped on this hype train, trading this token. I wonder if they really know what they're allowing their users to purchase or sell in their own platform. We see there's a null address, which holds 4.4% of the token supply, which, these tokens were burned. We're going to get into that, talk about how ZackXBT potentially facilitated this team burning these tokens. We've got a Grok whale.eth address that holds a good amount of tokens, and again, some other centralized exchanges. So the level of decentralization here actually appears pretty good. I mean, there's no one address that seems to be held by the team that owns a large portion of these tokens. And so right off the bat, it seems like the financial risk and potentially the team dumping this token is quite low, which is important if you consider this to be a meme coin, because Grok in no way appears to be tied to Elon Musk's actual artificial intelligence technology or company. This can be assumed to be a meme coin in which it promises very, very little, and most likely it's a speculative tornado or an investment vehicle where people can trade back and forth and try and make money off of volatility. All right. I've got my Grok Onchain Analytics dashboard up here where I was able to pull the entire Grok transaction history. And our goal, again, is to go back to the very beginning and seeing what happened when Grok was first put on chain or minted, what happened in the early stages of that token launch and who operated first and who stands to gain what. So again, we've got, close to 160, 170,000 transactions here. I believe this is about a day late. But we pulled all the data we could. We've got the transaction volume along with the token price history. So you can see that there's a lot of volume happening here about a week ago. Token price has been maintaining pretty strong. We've got, this is the number of transactions, the actual transaction volume in dollar amounts that we were able to pair based on the token price. And then we've got the breakup of the liquidity pool. And so we've got a lot of liquidity across the decentralized exchanges. A good amount of liquidity across MEXC, Bitmart, Gate, BitGet, etc. But we're going to go to the transaction list and see what happened first and foremost. And so this is something very, very important to consider. So we've got this initial minting transaction where the supply was minted and it was backed by Ethereum that was fed into the LP. Funny enough, if you check this transaction on chain, the team loaded close to all of the supply into the LP with only 1 ETH. So we're talking about an initial value backing, or technically an initial market cap of this token of around $2,000. If you look at what happened after that token was loaded into the LP, you see this timestamp here. It's 4:21 and 35 seconds. So immediately after that happened, there were a large number of buy transactions in that same exact block that went through. Close to 50 transactions. And it's funny enough, these transactions are paired with additional ones that seem to be taxes. So for example, this individual bought close to $270 worth of Grok. At the same time, that transaction spawned a tax of close to $85 worth of Grok that went back to this token contract address. And we believe that's somewhat of a tax or burn address. But again, we've got, what appears to be some insider trading, insider transactions on the very, very first block. And so what we did is we pulled all of these different wallet addresses. We pulled the token amounts that they purchased, and then we pulled the transaction history corresponding to each one of these wallets to try and see what these early insiders gained. I've got that breakdown here. And so you can see there's about 28 different insiders before the first sell transaction actually came in. We've got the total amount of money in US dollars they spent on Grok tokens. And we've got the total amount of value that they were able to extract by selling these tokens later. So what you see here, on average, we've got a couple of outliers. Obviously, this one seems to purchase more Grok at a later time at a higher price. But overall, it looks like the majority of people spent a few $100s. And on average, they walked away with close to $15,000. it's kind of funny. You see this massive variance in these returns that these people gained by selling these tokens. It seems like these dumps happened over a time span where the token price was changing very, very quickly. More interesting enough, you see the total current holdings is zero, meaning that everyone that purchased these tokens either sold all of them or transferred them out to another address. So if we consider these people, this one individual with all these wallet addresses, or these different individuals with these different wallets, to have purchased Grok first and foremost, and then try and gain from them, they dumped all of their holdings already. And so if these are all of the insiders, then it seems like there's very little else to gain by these insiders or by this team. Now, that doesn't mean that these insiders or whoever created the Grok token doesn't have holdings in other wallets. There's always a risk that they might have a lot of tokens that they can dump on the market at any time. But right now, it seems like they kind of dumped everything they had, and they kind of missed out on that hype that was generated and that massive token price that resulted. So funny enough, when Grok was gaining a lot of steam, ZackXBT released this Twitter post claiming that Grok was a scam, or at least created by scammers. And what he saw here is that the actual Grok account was changed a number of times from a different scam. And then as a result, the team responded by burning close to $1 million of the Grok token. I think at the time it was $90 million based on the market cap, but they took a large chunk of Grok tokens and then sent them to the Ethereum null address, burning these tokens. And so some are saying this might have been a stunt to try and create more hype after the token had cratered in price about 75% following ZackXBT's Twitter post. And as you check the charts, you'll see that the token price did rebound, but there might be some other reason why these individuals decided to burn these tokens. Maybe they were dumping the remainder of their holdings after being caught in a potential scam or in some controversy to try and limit legal liability. What we're going to do next is try and go on chain and check out those insider wallets in the early stages and see what else they transacted with and try and figure out who these individuals are and what their motives were. So I've got my list of insider wallets here again, and what I'm going to do is follow these wallets back to Etherscan and see what happened in that early stages, or try and get an idea of what these individuals are doing when they're operating on chain. I've got this one here as a good example. So they spent close to $400 initially to purchase some Grok tokens, and then they later sold for a total profit of close to $63,000. This seems like a perfect wallet address to follow and see, what else they're doing. This seems to be an insider that made one of the most or the best returns on chain. So we're going to see what's happening here. And so we've got, Grok tokens being sold. Looks like latest 14 days ago. And so, this confirmed, we confirmed this on chain already. They sold all of their holdings. But let's dive into the actual transaction history and see what's going on. And we're going to go to ERC20 tokens and see what's happening on chain. So again, we've got the latest activity dumping Grok tokens. So it looks like this wallet's inactive since they dumped the remainder of their token holdings, which gives me an idea of maybe this wallet being used specifically to try and take a gain from the Grok token supply. If we go back the entire transaction history, let's see what the early stages look like. And so we've November 2nd, which is before the Grok token was actually minted. I see a lot of, looks like, unverified tokens on chain of strange names. Be Like Bill, AI Safety Summit, Wojak 2.0, Orange Juice, Kekland. I think the list continues. Safarium, Bull Run, Bobby, Upvember, Refund Community, War of Degen. So there's a lot of random looking meme coins here, and you can tell they're meme coins by these massive amounts. And so there's not a lot of transactions of each. It looks like they purchased some and then they proceeded to dump them later. This seems to be a very common look. In fact, you've got 3 transactions for this one, 3 for that one, 3 for that one, a few of that one. And this is a common theme that I saw across many of these wallets here, they have some transaction history before Grok came to market, but the behavior is largely the same. And if I had to assume what I'm seeing here, it looks like this individual may be involved in creating different meme coins, hoping that they gain some traction, buying them immediately as they put them on the market, and then trying to sell them later for a return, which is exactly what we saw with Grok. We saw these individuals purchasing these tokens in the very first block and then quickly selling them later as people were dumping into the liquidity pool. And so this seems like an insider job of individuals that are systematically launching meme coins to try and capitalize on the meme coin hype. What's even more interesting is that a number of these wallets I saw, some of the meme coin names refer back to actual technologies or real world businesses. For example, there was one meme coin they created called Lockheed Martin. There's another one, in fact, that was referring to Elon Musk's Neuralink. And so it seems like they're trying to capitalize on the hype behind the real world technologies and real markets to create speculation and interest behind meme coins they might be launching. And what else this tells me is that in no way are any of these meme coins tied to real technologies or products. They're simply trying to create speculation or hype vehicles. And so they're doing this and very, very likely not trying to deliver any promises on the actual token they create, because they seem to systematically create meme coins and try and capitalize on hype behind them. Very little chances they're actually going to do anything of value. It seems like they're trying to just make some money off of some hype. And so this is very disappointing to see. But one thing I can be quite confident in is that this seems to be some sort of insider amateur job. The reason I'm saying that is because they obviously seem to have launched hundreds of meme coins. This makes sense why they only put one Ethereum into the value backing in the initial stages, because they don't want to spend so much money on any one particular meme coin if they're trying to launch 100 of them. This is a very low risk for them financially in hopes of high reward. At the same time, when ZackXBT decided to call these individuals out on their past behavior in launching meme coins or scams, they immediately responded by dumping a large portion of token holdings into the burn address. So this may have been some sort of reactionary measure to try and limit legal liability. Unfortunately for them, it doesn't really do anything to limit their liability, considering they've created some sort of speculative hype tornado to try and make money off of this. But what it does show us is that they might be panic selling, they might be panic dumping. They're not really sure how to handle the situation because, in all honesty, Grok may be the first meme coin they brought to market that actually gained some hype and speculation. It's kind of unfortunate for MEXC and Gate.io. Maybe they're unaware of what this means, but they seem to have listed a speculative asset that doesn't really have any real value backing. They literally listed a meme coin that means nothing, that can bring some controversy and PR issues for them, based on what I'm seeing here. And if this team operating on chain is any measure of what can happen in the future, it's likely that they hold some other Grok tokens in other wallets that we haven't even seen yet, which means that they can dump on investors and capitalize on the liquidity that still exists in the liquidity pool. And so we've got, maybe a total of, let's say, $8 to $10 million of liquidity remaining across all centralized and decentralized exchanges. And so if they hold, let's say, even a fraction, 5 to 10% of the token supply in wallets that we haven't seen yet, this is enough to drain all of the liquidity across all of these exchanges. So there's a massive risk to these centralized exchanges when listing these tokens. And there's a massive risk to you, retail investor, or anyone that might be trading these assets, and understanding that if you purchase this asset, you should expect nothing in return as far as technology, company, or product that might be backing this. What you can expect, however, is a very volatile, low liquidity asset to swing trade or day trade, which can be dumped on, which can be completely destroyed at any moment, potentially, if the team decides to exit hard and dump all of their remaining holdings. So again, this is Sasha from Arcanum Ventures. I'm glad that we took this time to look into Grok and understand the risks around it. It's not as risky as other meme coins I've seen where the team clearly holds 75 to 80% of the token supply that they can dump at any moment. Doesn't mean that risk isn't there. So understand what you're getting into when you're purchasing these assets. I'm sure Elon Musk is disappointed to see a lot of hype and speculation behind a controversial cryptocurrency that is literally no ties to his own technology. And I'm sure MEXC, Gate.io, and some of these other exchanges might be disappointed to find out what they've actually listed when, there are a lot of fantastic projects with great cryptocurrencies already out in the market that deserve to be listed and deserve to be taking the spotlight. Again, Sasha at Arcanum Ventures, thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in next time, subscribe, and send us a like if this content interests you, because we've got more on-chain data analytics coming very soon. Ciao, y'all.